Okay. I just want to welcome everybody to today's edition of the Step Up Your Safety series at RAS. I'm Therese Schulte, and I will be your moderator. I'm also joined by our loss control consultant, Anne Marie Campbell, who will be doing the presentation on distracted driving. As we get started, just a couple of things. You have all entered with your phones and computer auto muted. If you have any questions that came up or come up as we go through this, feel free to use the Q&A feature and type your question. We will address those at the end as time allows. And on that note, I am going to let Anne Marie get started.
Thank you for the introduction, Therese. Driving is one of the most dangerous tasks we do every day. When we get behind the wheel, and even before, we have so many distractions from our work and personal lives that put us at risk for distracted driving. Even before we get in our car, our mind can be somewhere else. Phone, check. Purse, wallet, check. Work bag, check. Lunch, check. Oh, where did I put my shoes? Oh, yes, here they are. Okay. Keys, keys, keys. And we have a runner. Now I'm looking around my house for the keys. Thoughts are going through my head. If I just put them in the spot they are normally are in. And now I'm running late. How am I going to get this project done on time? The meeting is in an hour. Finally, I find the keys lying there on the kitchen table. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I not put them back on the key rack where they belong? Whew, relieved, I grab my stuff and lock the house and head to my vehicle and drive to work. And it's raining. Now the thoughts are just racing through my head. Great. Rush hour is going to be horrible. How am I going to get to work on time now? It wasn't supposed to rain today. Oh no. I have that work video that I have to do and all these reports and the staff meeting. I didn't dress for the rain. Man, now I'm going to be soaking wet. Do I have my muck boots or my high vis rain jacket in the car? I'm hungry. Well, I did pack a breakfast and lunch. So many thoughts are racing in my head. Well, I'm just going to grab my lunch bag from the back seat and eat my breakfast now. What could go wrong? As soon as I turn to the back seat to grab my lunch bag, traffic stops and I swerve into the other lane, thankfully, barely missing the vehicle next to me. Whew! I was lucky. I started drinking coffee and eating my breakfast to help wake up, and then turned on the radio, and my favorite song is playing. Then I heard my phone ding, and it's a really important email that I've been waiting for all week. I just need to check it. So I pick up my phone and start reading it. And as soon as I look at the email, traffic stops again. And this time I were in the vehicle ahead of me. It was just a quick call, picture, glance, text, bite, sip. Just is all it takes. How many times have you or someone you known gone through the same situation? Distracted driving happens all the time. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2023, 3,275 people were killed and 325,000 people were injured in distracted driving crashes. The scariest statistic to me is the DOT has data stating that US daily travel averages about 11 billion miles a day. How many of these people are distracted behind the wheel? And how can we get home or to work safely without a wreck? To get closer to these answers, let's dig into what is distracted driving. Distracted driving is a specific type of inattention that occurs when drivers divert their attention away from driving to another activity. There are three different types of inattention: visual, manual, and cognitive. Visual, taking your eyes off the road; manual, taking your hands off the wheel; and cognitive, thinking about something else when driving. There are a lot of different types of distracted driving. The most common types are phone calls, including hands-free, checking email, eating and drinking, texting, fatigue, adjusting, turning on the radio, grabbing items in your car, reading a book, applying makeup, talking to other people in the car, looking at maps or GPS for directions, watching a movie, pets driving, like Chester on grandma's lap. Let's focus on one of the main causes of distracted driving: crashes, texting, and driving. Did you know that at 55 miles an hour, sending or reading a text is like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed? It's crazy, isn't it? We don't realize how one small decision can potentially change our life and others. So, what about phone calls? What's the harm in answering a phone call when driving, or joining a conference meeting, or answering a call from a loved one while driving? What if I'm hands-free? Answering a phone call when driving can be a manual and or cognitive distraction. Why, may you ask? Well, it's all about distractions. For example, manual distraction. If your employee does not have a phone mount for their vehicle, they may have to dig through their pockets, work bag, or card to find their phone and then answer it. This puts your employee at risk for taking their eyes off the road and potentially getting into an auto accident. There's also cognitive distraction. Your employee is now on the phone talking to their supervisor or dispatch. This puts your employee at risk of focusing on the conversation only instead of what is going on around in their surroundings, which can lead to getting in an auto accident. During or after the phone conversation, the employee experiences emotions like sadness, anger, happiness. This can all be shown in their driving. For example, if someone is angry, they may start to speed and may start road rage. If your driver is sad, they may start to slow down and start crying, losing eyesight on the road. If your employee is happy, they may focus on what was said and forget that they are driving. All of these resulting in a potential crash. Here are some distracted driving phone safety tips. Never pick up your phone while driving. If you get a call on your phone, pull over to answer it. If you have Bluetooth in your vehicle or your company provides you with headsets, remember to still pay attention when driving. Use a phone mount, but make sure you don't put it in a way that's blocking your view. Turn on Do Not Disturb on your phone settings. There is an exception with this setting that you can add certain phone numbers to still come through, like family members, supervisors, dispatch, different people in fleet. No text or phone call is worth your life. One text or call could wreck it all. Now, with this information, you are probably wondering, what can I do as an employer to protect my fleet from distracted driving? Well, multiple ideas come to mind. For example, facilitate a distracted driving and driver safety training prior to your employee allowed to be behind the wheel of your vehicle. Couple things here. One, any company that is insured with RAS has the ability to obtain access to eLearn, which is RAS's learning platform at no extra cost. In this learning platform, there is a plethora of free safety courses that your employees can take. This can be based on occupation, for example, healthcare, transportation, schools, manufacturing, construction, agriculture, social services, landscaping, and more. It could be based on specific topics like distracted driving and or driving safety. Some of these courses we have available are distracted driving for fleet vehicles and transit, distracted driving at what cost, texting and driving and the facts, and other training videos like defensive driving for fleet and CDL, larger vehicles, field tree trainings, and choices driving safely in healthcare, which this specializes in driving with patients or clients. There's also the Smith System program, also known as Five Keys. Smith Five Keys, it's a great resource to use, and you can have your fleet manager or someone that does training at your facility go through this course and become a train the trainer and facilitate these trainings at your location for fleet or CDL vehicles. And they also go over distracted driving as well. I know that quite a few companies have their own train the trainer programs and their own resources, as well as your agency. So I would reach out to them as well, but there's different trainings on that aspect. You can also purchase phone and or tablet mounts brackets and install them in your vehicles. This is so you know that the phone mount has been installed and that it is not installed in a position that is blocking your employee's view. You can purchase one-way or two-way camera systems for your vehicle so you can physically see if the employee is distracted. Have a system for your employees. If dispatch or supervisor calls 3 times, find a safe spot to pull over and have them call back. Make it a requirement that when your employees are driving, they need to turn on their do not disturb. Apple and Android both have this. And they can also set up away text messages that are sent to people who text them. And they can allow certain calls to come through, like immediate family members, fleet members, dispatch, supervisor, etc. If the employee is lost, ensure to tell them not to pick up their phone or tablet or mess with it while they're driving. Tell them to pull over into a safe spot, then look at the GPS. If you do lose your GPS data, you can always use state maps. They're free at the visitor center in most states. And again, if you get lost, you don't want to utilize the maps while you're driving, so pull off the side of the road and make sure that your employees know to do that instead of being distracted while looking at it. Yes, going a little bit Indiana Jones or Lewis and Clark here, but it's another resource. Also, remind employees if they're going to take a call via Bluetooth or headset to keep their eyes on the road at all times and remain focused. On many steering wheels these days, they do have the dash that they can click and answer, and they also have the push button on the steering wheel. Remember, you can always utilize your telematics data as well to see if there's any signs of distracted driving. What is telematics? Telematics is a method of monitoring cars, trucks, equipment using GPS technology and onboard diagnostics to plot the asset movements on a computerized map. Many telematics companies offer hardware and software solutions to help fleet track, analyze, and optimize their assets. These telematics programs can track harsh acceleration, harsh braking, speeding events, excessive speeding events, harsh cornering, seatbelt violations, and much more. This is great information on your employees' overall driving safety. And in addition, it can help you identify distracted driving. Here are some popular telematic companies that are available now. Geotab, Samsara, Lytix, Verizon Connect, Motive, Powerfleet, Azuga, and there's many more good telematic companies available. How can I utilize the telematics data to detect potential distracted driving in my fleet? You can utilize the telematics driving events data to help to help detect this. You have harsh acceleration, harsh braking, seatbelt violation, excessive speeding. After noticing these events, you can investigate further into the events and have a discussion with your employee with the telematics map pulled up and figure out why the event occurred and how to prevent it from happening again. You also have dash cameras and end cap cameras. Some employers use these. These can help visually identify if an employee is distracted, what occurred if an incident happens, and helps in any other aspects of fleet as well. Different distracted driving events, these detect eyes of the road, phone usage, smoking, vaping, eating, drinking, hands off the wheel, fatigue, seatbelt violations, and more. There are options of having one-way or two-way facing cameras. One way, the camera faces out the road. The two-way camera, there's a camera that's facing inward at the employee driving and out at the road. The common ones that are utilized are Samsara, Lytics, Geotab, Verizon Connect, Fleet Cam, and there's many more good telematic companies available that do provide dash and in-cab camera. Where should I install the phone tablet mount to best prevent obstructing view, but still help our drivers keep their eyes on the road? Well, you want to avoid cup phone mount holders, and you want to make sure that your employees have line of sight so they can be able to see. You never want to block that. So, ideal areas for phone, AC vent, top corner of the driver's side windshield, lower corner of the driver's side windshield, center dashboard or near the dashboard or near the steering wheel, but not inhibiting it. Ideal installation spots for tablet mounts and brackets, passenger seat rail, center dashboard, bottom dash near the air brake knobs. Now, every state has road laws on where it is acceptable to put phone and tablet mounts. Look to your local laws to ensure you place these according to their rules. Also, make sure to follow your company's fleet safety policy on where to put these mounts. Joining the cause to prevent distracted driving. There are a lot of companies and people outside of work that are joining the cause to prevent distracted driving. There are quite a few national organizations and states that have their own distracted driving safety campaigns to help raise awareness and lower the risk of distracted driving. A few to mention is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Their campaign is Put the Phone Away or Pay. Missouri is Buckle Up and Phone Down. Kansas, Drive to Zero. South Dakota, Buckle Up and Phone Down. I highly suggest that if you're not in Kansas, Missouri, South Dakota, you can always look at your own state. Most state DOT has these available. And this is our list of resources for where the information we found today in the presentation is. And I wanted to thank you for your time. I'm going to pass it back to Therese.
Thank you. I am just looking, there are no questions. Um, I do have one for you, Anne Marie. Since we're all sitting here, I'd like to ask one a minute.
Of
Um,
course.
should each of the companies, should they have a distracted driving policy?
Yes, in my professional opinion, I believe that each fleet company, each company should have a distracted driving policy in place to ensure that their drivers are safe, to ensure that they don't have medical issues or get into a motor vehicle incident. Um, I know a lot of companies have, fleet and driving policies, but I think that distracted driving needs to be addressed in that.
Oh, we have some questions coming in. Before I get to
Perfect.
those, one more question for you on that. If I don't have a policy in place, would I be reaching out to maybe my loss control consultant for more help on that and getting that set up?
Yeah, absolutely. Loss control consultants can definitely help you analyze and see what you need in your plan, and we can help you write that policy.
Thank you. Okay, first
Absolutely.
question we have is, can you tell me more about telematics scorecards and how they work?
Yes, I am most familiar with Geotab. However, Samsara and these other companies are familiar. So they put a hardware. You put a hardware into your vehicle, that your fleet vehicle. When then it analyzes the data. So it gives you the miles driven, it gets assigned to a driver. So let's say driver ABC is in this one vehicle that has the telematics. They generally give you an Excel sheet, and it's also on their platform where it has the driver name, how many miles they've driven, and then how many harsh braking events, harsh acceleration, harsh cornering, excessive speeding events they have, and you can get it all in one area. And if it's assigned to a specific location, it'll put that in there as well. And you can filter it by monthly, for every 3 months, or how long you've had it every year. And you can get that data that way. I know some clients have mine, and myself included. I've done this before, is writing a policy on, okay, if you have a certain amount of these trainings or a certain amount of these events, you need to go back through harsh acceleration training, or you need to go back through this specific defensive driving training. It also detects if you're following too close. So if someone's following too close, it's another way that we can identify how we can prevent our employees from getting injured and our employees getting in auto accidents. And your loss control consultant can help you on that too, on analyzing that. I know that challenges are a big thing. At one of my companies, we did a telematics challenge, and we did it by office. So people were competing to see who could reach the specific mileage and have zero events, and then they would get an award. And everyone kind of does it a little bit different. Like transportation would add, okay, not getting pulled over by the DOT, or a good inspection. So I hope that helps. And if you want more information, feel free to email me.
There are a couple more questions from the same person on this, and I think I'll give them to you, and you may say, let me follow up with you personally, but let me at least tell
Okay.
you what they are. How do you use telematics to coach a driver? And how can you use behavioral-based safety in this process?
How do you use telematics to coach a driver? I can answer that one at this moment. I feel like we still have time.
Okay.
When I was working in fleet safety, I was talking to the driver. So we pulled up the event with some telematics. Again, I have more experience with Geotab. We would able to be pull up the event on what occurred, and we sat down the employee and talked to the employee about the event. So you have it on your computer screen, the map and the event. Let's say that it is speeding. And you can zoom in, you can go on satellite, and you can discuss with the employee, okay, I noticed that at this area that you had a speeding event. Can you explain, what was going on? And have that conversation with the employee. One thing that I also did was, a lot of people in some of the states that I was working with didn't realize that the speed limit dropped from 55 miles an hour to 30. So then we're like, hey, did you know that in this area the speed limit changed? And most of the time they didn't know. Because if you're traveling in rural areas, sometimes you don't see that sign. Sometimes there's a tree or a bush that's covering it. So just having that conversation with them and telling them, hey, this is the information. This is what we saw. Now, what would you do differently if you could do it all over again? And what are you going to do in the future? And sitting down and having that conversation, from my experience, it really helped, because the next time that the employee went through, the employee didn't have that speeding event. It really does make a difference. And also, on a side note, it makes a difference too, because they know that you care about their safety, or you have the other aspect that they know that you are looking at their speeding events and at the events. As for
Okay.
the behavioral based safety, I'll have to get back directly um, to the employee that mentioned that.
That I
That's
will.
a
I
little
will.
bit longer of a conversation.
That's okay. I will give you that person's name and info as well. So I have one more about telematics and I have one about e-learning. We'll get to both of those, but one with telematics is, how is a person notified that someone is speeding? Is it by email, or what? How are they notified in general?
Well, there's multiple ways depending again on your telematics. I'm most familiar with Geotab. So we would set people up with email notifications, and they'd also get notifications if they had the Geotab app downloaded on their phone. They'd log in as the supervisor, and so they would get notifications for their specific employees that were reported or the specific vehicle, whether it's excessive speeding, it's speeding, harsh acceleration, harsh braking, harsh cornering, whatever that you have it set up for. So you
Just
can
to
get it online and email and on the phone.
And just to clarify then on that, Anne Marie, it's not that the employee is getting it, as the supervisor or management would be getting it, so then they can have that conversation, correct?
Correct. It would be the supervisor or management.
Perfect. Okay. And then I want to go back up to somebody who asked how to access eLearn. This is great because that's me. I am your eLearn coordinator. And so I will reach out to anybody. If you mention it, you want eLearn, I will reach out to you. I wrote your name down and we'll have a conversation. It's just a little setup process because we go through our vendor. Again, we pay the bill. So it's our gift to you. And then I can work with you on what you need to make sure you are set up for success with that program. Okay. And then we
Therese,
do, yes.
can I add to that?
Yeah,
In the future, if you don't have Teresa's information, which she will provide, you can also reach out to your RAS contact or loss control, and we can give you the connection for that. And also, if you don't have an RAS contact or you don't know your RAS contact or loss control, you can always reach out to your agency and they can get you connected with Therese.
absolutely. Um, then one last thing, we did have a good question. Are we available for additional questions later on? Absolutely. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we'll make sure that we'll make sure at the end give you Anne-Marie's information. And I'm going to make sure she's connected with a couple of the people that are in these questions. But again, if you have other things and you're like, hey, I don't know, even if you called 800 number and asked for Anne-Marie, we can get you to Anne-Marie. So don't feel like if you think of something later, you can't ask because we're happy to help you. Okay.
Absolutely. And we appreciate everybody's time. We know time is precious.
I've got a bunch of people asking for e-learn, so thank you.
Yes, we're really excited. And there is many different resources on eLearn. Again, with healthcare, transportation. I know schools, like I mentioned before, a ton of occupation. And for the transportation companies or anyone that needs to be DOT certified, there's DOT hours of service, DOT courses on there as well. And there's more distracted driving courses that I think would be beneficial for the group.
Thank you.
So I'm really excited that you guys are interested in this resource. And again, if you need anything, my contact information will be shared.
We should have put it on your slide, and that's my fault. I didn't even think of that, so I apologize. Before we end, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there will be a survey that will pop up. If you would like to give some responses to that, we would appreciate it. It helps us to know what you need going forward or anything else that would come up. We also will do an email to you with the final recording of this webinar, so you will have access to that. And then we will also put that on the portal. So you'll be able to log into the portal and you can always share it. It's on our YouTube page. So it's just a YouTube link, and we'd be happy if you want to share it with other people in the company or employees. That would be great. And then out there is also a calendar for the upcoming webinars for the 2026 year. And so we'll do another one again next month. And you can also always follow us on LinkedIn. So that's it. We thank you guys so much for attending. And we will be getting back to each of you for the e-learn and any further questions that you may have.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.